Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Inspiration Talks. In today's episode, I have a very special guest with me. She is an ESL teacher and she is also a stress management coach to find out what are the main reasons behind stress and how to avoid stress. Let's welcome Noreen. Assalamu alaikum, Noreen. How are you doing?
Walaikum assalam. Alhamdulillah, I'm good. And how about you, Laiba?
Yes, I'm good too. Thank you so much for joining, first of all. So, Noreen, can you give us a short intro about yourself?
As you know, my name is Noreen Khan, and I am actually a stress management coach as well as a language instructor. As a ESL, I work as an ESL teacher, and I've been doing it for the last 14 years in Canada as well as in other countries. And recently, I started working with the university at what's it called in Riyadh, KSA, and it was a teacher training program as well as for the students. So when I started in January, I was training teachers, Saudi teachers, and they will actually teach in international schools in KSA. So, and I'm back to Canada now for the summer. And I think I'll go back to Saudi for a few more months and let's see how things will go, and I'll continue it. And this is my side hustle as a stress management coaching. And I do it as this is my own business. So I do it on my own time.
How did you start your journey of stress management coach? What was your first profession?
As an ESL teacher first. And that was my actually main career. And because I teach students from other countries who are mainly refugees and newcomers to Canada. So I have taught lots of students with learning disabilities, with traumas, with, childhood traumas, war traumas, so that is how teacher is not a teacher here. So we are actually settlement teachers and we help our students to integrate into the society. So I found out that lots of my students, I counsel them in the class and before and after the class. So I gave them some extra time. And that is how I developed my interest in stress management coaching, that I, as a teacher, can help my students more. And then COVID started. And during that pandemic, I actually started it as a profession because I got my certification just before COVID. And during COVID, I had lots of free sessions for younger students, for women, because people were frustrated and they were in the situation they haven't been before. So, yeah.
Okay, that's great to know. चलिए अब हम थोड़ा बचपन पे revive करते हैं. So when you were a kid, what was your favorite subject?
Favorite subject. I think it was actually that time. It was English actually. Yeah, LA. But yeah, and I don't know about my favorite subject more, but I know I hated maths. So math was I disliked maths a lot. But yes, English was easier for me as well as science. Yeah.
Okay, so when you were a kid, did you want to be an ESL teacher?
Not at all. No. I wanted to be a lawyer always.
Okay, so you wanted to be a lawyer. So what's your best memory of childhood?
Living with my parents and my siblings. I know most of people, they love their childhood, but honestly speaking, I had the best childhood. And yes, because I have younger siblings too. I still remember, I never wanted to be a teacher, but for them, I always, I was a teacher. Like I pretended as a teacher. I had my glasses on, lipstick on, and usually that time even I was writing on the doors, and I made them sit there and listen to me. And they were pretending as my student, and I was teacher for them always. But that time there was no intention to be a teacher.
Okay. So were you afraid of anything when you were a kid?
Yeah, I was afraid of dogs, and even till now I get scared when I see dogs.
Hey, Noreen, as you are a stress management coach, I would like to know, is stress an emotion?
Okay, what do you think?
I think it's an emotion.
Okay, stress. No, stress is not an emotion directly. It's a reaction to any emotional feeling, right? When you feel like angry or you feel anxious, that's an emotion. and then you get stressed. So stress is actually a reaction to that emotion, not actually an emotion.
Okay. So do you think stress is a good thing?
Yes, there is a good stress we call eustress. Remember when you have an exam tomorrow,
Yeah.
or you have a job interview. If you have a job interview, you also get stressed for that. But for that stress, you will work harder, right? And you will do some extra work. So that's a good stress. It will bring good results for you. So yes, there is a good stress. There is a good stress and there is bad stress too. So eustress, which we call or known as good stress, it will motivate you to do better.
Okay. So moving on the next question, I would like to know what are some healthy ways to reduce stress?
Okay, yeah, there are like the simplest way is to do breathing exercises, right? If you are if you are having panic attacks or if you're stressed, just go out, just step out and take 2 deep breaths, inhale and stop, and then you exhale. And this is the simplest way. Then you can write a journal and write 3 things you are grateful for every day. Every day it could be very simple things, like you can be grateful for the water, for food, for breathing, right? So that's also one of the healthy ways. And another one, you can do volunteer work, go help others, and it will also reduce your stress and anxiety. And number 4, we all know that start some exercise. So these all are healthy ways to cope with stress. Is not a disease. Like I told you, it's a reaction to your emotion, right? So you just have to manage it. So these are coping strategies, and honestly, people have very good results with these strategies. These all are healthy strategies to reduce stress and anxiety.
I am stressed too much. This phrase has become too much common in the past years and even in the present. So, what do you think are the main causes of people getting stressed out day by day?
Okay, yeah, now you can see people, even kids, they pull their hair and they say, I'm stressed out, I'm stressed out.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, everybody's stressed out.
Somehow.
Because I wouldn't say that people just say it for the sake of it, but yes, people are stressed out because of the challenging environment these days, and there are lots more challenges than we had in our childhood. Even now, social media, and to fit into that society, it makes people stressed out, and also relationship problems, and usually people are stressed out from each other. So the stressors are also the people. So yes, finances and health are some of the stresses too, but the main stressors are honestly people. So people are stressed out from other people usually.
That's right. I completely agree with you. So, how to avoid stress? Like, how can people avoid stress from people?
Okay, now one thing, you have seen a lot of, okay, I would say like Facebook posts, or you see lots of these things, walk away and let it go. No, you can't walk away, right? If you get stressed from one of your family members, how can you walk away, right? So the thing is, now we should teach each other, or we should teach our children, or we should teach or tell our friends or family who are stressed out that everybody faces stress once in a lifetime, or maybe on daily basis, right? So we all get stressed out. It's not like we are immune to stress, or someone is immune to. So we can't avoid stress in our daily life. The thing is, we have to change our reaction towards it. So how to respond to stress. So we have to work on our response, not the situation. You can't leave your mom and dad. You can't leave your husband, and husband and I, they can leave each other, but not on like a daily basis. Like, okay, I don't like this food, or they have some argument. No, you can avoid the situation, but you can't avoid the person, right? So the thing is, we all need to learn how to respond to these situations. Our reaction actually is important than the actual problem.
Okay, so how to respond to people?
Okay, the first thing when you get stressed, you have to figure out your stressors. Stressors means uh, the things which makes you stressful, like what gives you stress. Maybe the person, maybe the situation, maybe what is your main stressor. Okay, if you are unemployed, or if you have health problems, or if you have financial problems, it is very normal to get stressed, right? And you will be only free of stress when this problem will be solved. Okay, you can cope with them with coping strategies, but you cannot eliminate your stress. And we should actually learn that okay, this is normal, everybody goes, and this shall pass. But now I come to the main point. If you think your main stressor is some person, sometimes, when you see someone, you get stressed. There are some people who makes you feel stressed or anxious or like what. So if you can avoid them, if they are not the part of your daily life, I would highly recommend try to avoid them as much as possible. I'm talking about co-workers, I'm talking about friends, I'm talking about people you don't see them daily. And if you think whenever you see them you get stressed, I would highly suggest to avoid them. I wouldn't say that you avoid them completely, but minimize your interaction with them. Now come to the family thing, right? You can't avoid your family members. And if you think you get stressed from one of your family members, now you have to accept the reality that you can't change them. So accept them as it. Okay? When you have that acceptance, then your reaction will be different too. Okay, so think is like they are sick and you are their doctor, so you are not there to like you have to change your responses to them. So if you think like your child argue with you all the time whenever you stop them, so look at you, what do you do against that argument? Do you defend yourself, or do you yell, do you scream? So change your reaction. Obviously you can't always avoid the situation, but change your reaction and you will see the different results.
Okay, so how effective is exercising in reducing stress?
Actually, lots of researches and studies have shown that exercise changes your mood. It elevates your mood and your good hormones, right? And so it's not only physically, mentally, it gives you relief. So exercise is very, very important. And if you are, honestly speaking, if you are like depressed or you are stressed, you just walk out, go out, step out, and just take some deep breaths in fresh air, and just have like 10 minutes walk and continue your breathing. You will see when you'll come back, you will feel much better, because it releases cortisol. Or when you are stressed, it releases cortisol, right? So when you do exercise, when you do your happy hormones, they get activated, right? So it is actually physically exercises, it changes your mood and your brain activated, and your amygdala, it takes that thing and your good hormones releases that time. So exercise is important, very important for your physical as well as for your mental health.
Okay, so do you think is a little bit of stress daily good for health? In what ways?
Okay, like I told you that stress is good. Like if you have an exam or you have a job interview, you get stressed, but for that stress you work harder and you get good results. But if that stress is on daily basis, that becomes chronic stress, and chronic stress is dangerous and chronic stress happens when you are stressed out from a situation or from a person for a very long time. Then it becomes chronic stress and you get physically responses, like maybe your heart rate changes, maybe your blood pressure raises. So chronic stress is not good. So you can't say that if you have good stress every day, it's good for you. So when you have something every day, it becomes chronic, and then it will affect your physical as well as your mental health.
So now let's move towards let's imagine and inspire. So Noreen, if you win a lottery ticket, for example, infinite amount of money, how will you spend it?
Honestly speaking, if I sometimes I discuss this with my daughter, and we both plan if we win a lottery, what will we do? And yes, I will have a. I will have a, you know what I say, I will go on travel with my daughter and maybe with my son if he wants to. But I will, I'll fix one portion only for myself, because I know that if I win a lottery, it will be a big amount. But I will fix 2/3 of that portion to help others. There are lots of people here in this world. Like maybe I will upgrade my car, but I already have a car, right? So I have my basic necessity. But there are lots of people who are out of food these days, right? They don't have food, they don't have a place to live. So I wouldn't say that I can help everyone, but I would definitely have some families to help them to have these basic necessities in life.
Okay, so what about if you had a time machine? Would you prefer to go in your past or in your future?
Past.
Okay, and why is it like that?
Because I don't know about my future, and nobody knows, right? And nobody predict their future, and I haven't seen my future. I don't know if it will be a good thing or a bad thing, but I know my past, it was good. I still miss my days when my parents were alive and we lived in a family house, right? Together with my siblings, with my parents. So I would definitely go back to that time.
Okay, so if you could live anywhere for one whole year, so what country will you prefer to live?
I would say Pakistan.
Okay, so Noreen, do you have interest in learning languages? If yes, so what languages would you like to learn?
I would really like to learn Arabic now, because when I was in Saudi, I honestly, I have observed and noticed that, oh my God, how important is it to learn another language? And for us, why I'm saying Arabic, because then I know we read the Quran, but we read it with translation. And I also, I noticed that when our newcomers come to Canada and we teach them English, and some of them, they don't speak a single to communicate, and even for little things, which I have observed in Saudi for myself. Like sometimes I was there, like looked like a nonsense person. Like sometimes I don't understand them, they don't understand me because of the.
So who inspires you most in life?
My dad. I have a reason to. Every child, they love their parents, and especially dad and mom. So, but why I said my dad, because we are 6 sisters and 1 brother, and he was the only one who was the source of. He was earning bread and butter for us, and in a country like Pakistan, where people don't like to have daughters even, and he had 6 daughters. He gave us the education, expensive education. He worked hard for us, and like he never gave up on us. And the confidence we have today, it was given by him, and he was the only source of income for us. But we never felt like we were 6 sisters and 1 brother, but we never felt like we have so many siblings, and we have something we want and we don't have it. He tried to love us as the only child can get all those facilities and all those. He was definitely, he was a role model for many fathers who have daughters. And he always trusted us, and he was the one who pushed us to do more in life and make us stronger, actually.
Okay, that's great to know. So Noreen, what do you do when you get angry?
I yell.
You yell, okay.
I yell, I scream. But now one thing I changed in, like I told you, with the time we all change, right? And we should change. And I also change with time. Now most of the time I keep quiet. When I'm too angry, I keep quiet. But I still get like angry and I yell sometimes. But in the past, I started yelling or screaming if I'm angry. But now I keep quiet sometimes. And that was like, I don't say anything.
Okay, what about stress? How do you reduce stress when you get stressed?
Honestly speaking, I have tried all these things on myself too. Like I get stressed too often, especially when I was away from my family, and then there were some incidents happen in my family as well. We lost our parents, and then there were some business things too. So I get stressed often now, but I do breathing. I distract myself right away. If I'm getting stressed, I will call some friend or sibling, or started talking to my children or husband. So that is how I know, like I cope with it, and I know how to distract myself. I start doing something because I know the more I think about it, the more I get more stressed.
Okay, so any advice for the people to get stress free?
Okay, you cannot be stress free. You just have to learn how to deal with it. Life is difficult, and never think that my life is difficult and I'm the only one who has been going through all this, or who is facing all this. Everyone is fighting a battle you never know. It doesn't mean if you see people on social media and they post happy pictures, it doesn't mean their life is perfect. We all have our own struggles. We all have our own battles. Like when I go out or I go to work, nobody would ever tell that what I'm going through behind the doors, right? Because I go with mask on, or I go with a happy face, right? So never think that you are the only one. So always think that there are people who are more stressed than you, and they are still coping with it. If they can do it, I can do it. And always tell yourself, this will never stay. It will pass. Everything is temporary. It shall too pass, and you'll be fine.
Okay, Noreen, it was great talking with you. There is a small gesture from me to you.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to say anything in the end?
First, I would say thank you very much for inviting me. And the second thing I would say that please always look around. There are people who need your help, and people are sometimes they don't ask for help. So as a human being, as a friend, as a neighbor, always look around. And if you think there are some signs that you see that that person doesn't look like the same as before, please go and ask. And sometimes, obviously, we can't help everyone, but we can always help one person, or do one thing at a day, that when you go to the bed at night, you say like, did I make a difference in someone's life? It could be just a smile. It could be a compliment. It could be a little help. We don't need to be like to do big things always. So if you do that, you will feel that you will be stress-free one day too.
That's right. I completely agree with you.